NFL 24. And up next, we'll see Jalen Hurts. After his last game, he's now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Eagles and the Giants, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
Opened back in 2003, have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Well, straight ahead, we've got a rematch from last year's NFC Divisional Round 2, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the defending NFC champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and a Merry Christmas to everyone out there watching. Thanks for joining us on this special day. Partner, Merry Christmas to you, and what an afternoon of football we should have in store here. Two great rivals in the NFC East doing battle here in Week 16.
And how many times have they gotten together and big stakes were out there for either team? I remember
It's the second of 3 on this Christmas day with the Giants and Eagles, and off we go in Philadelphia. Donovan Peoples-Jones now from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result had he opted for the touchback. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And it felt like it watching the game tape. He got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, you get a look at their key inactives for this week's game, and Charles, clearly you don't want to have any of these guys unavailable, especially when you're where they're at fighting for a playoff spot.
I agree, because the postseason is on the line. So you've got to overcome the injuries and find a way to win.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Kayvon Thibodeau able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard. From the gun, it's Hurts. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles first down as the tackle is made at the 28-yard line. On first down, Hurts. And this one's going to sail on him a bit, and it's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. So the completion there, and CD, as we know, trying to defend against an NFL quarterback, that's one thing. Trying to defend against a mobile NFL quarterback, that's quite another. What's the plan here defensively?
Well, the pass rush has to still try and get to him, especially the guys on the edge, but they're going to go maybe a account slower, right? They want to make sure they don't get too far upfield where he steps up and takes off through a lane. The same is true for those interior guys as well. So you've got to change it up with him. Try and keep him hemmed into the pocket, and occasionally you throw a spy on him. A fast linebacker or one of your extra defensive backs who can dance with him a little bit if he takes off and runs.
No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
Well, the Giants ready to go now on offense, and under center is the man in possession of a new contract for 2023 and beyond. In his 5th season now, Daniel Jones.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And taken down just shy of the 40. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 73 yards.
They put a lot of effort into game playing and establishing this ground game last week, and reward was a nice day rushing the ball. Helped them put a balanced offense out on the field. And that carry is an indicator that this ground game wants to be established again this week.
Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. The Giants at 500, 7-7 on the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here, and it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
Now Jones throwing on 4th down. Short throw going to be caught by Waller. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Giants go on 4th but come up empty. And the Eagles defense able to hold. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They start the drive here with Gainwell. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
2nd down. Here's Hurts. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Hurts sets up to throw it. Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. in good position, 1st and 10. Gainwell gets it on the option. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's Hurts to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Up the middle with Barkley. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. 6-0 our score after 1. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop it. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Barkley inside handoff. Give him 3 yards on the run. Now they'll need to drop something good here on 3rd and 13.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. Gano's kick is good, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So if you like field goals, you've come to the right spot. We've had 3 so far.
Now, this is a football game, right?
It is.
You like that one, huh? You like where I went with that? How about that one?
I like it.
Okay, but hey, let's face it. In this game right now, both defenses have responded well. They're trying to hold the line on this. You just wonder if anyone can break through with a touchdown and put some pressure on their opposition.
Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And this late season game, of course, not lacking for drama when you talk about the AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, in a sense, it's the haves versus the have-nots because this group on offense, they'd be a wild card if the postseason started today, but they know the guys on the other side of the ball are still in that dreaded in the hunt category, and they're hungry for a win today.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Hurts. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards Jones is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3 and out on your own side of the field.
It shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation. Pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. This one out quickly to Watkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And he's got his big tight end here. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
He's taken out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
They're going to look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. And now a pause because we've got A.J. Brown dinged up on that last play, and they're going to have to get some medical attention to him. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Holding offense.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Throw left side complete. That's Arnold. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to stretch out their lead.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They're in a 13-3 hole here now as they come up on 1st down. Now Jones. And that one complete to Hodgins. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he goes out right around the 39. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A 1st down carry for Barkley. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Here's Jones on 3rd down. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Let's look at Kenneth Gainwell as this offense comes back out. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This to Arnold on the short pass. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Kayvon Thibodeau. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. And back deep for the Giants is Dory Jackson. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's fielded at the 45. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They work now on 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Jones. The short throw pulled in by Bellinger. So the completion good for just 3. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Looking to throw, Jones. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
This one is Slayton over the middle. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Finds the open target, Arnold. A big play there for Philly. 42 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicer.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. He'll drop to throw.
I know tight ends love this route, because a lot of times they'll fake the block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle, because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Eagles! Kenneth Gainwell. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Giants now going to take over late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Jones. And that'll be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, and they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Taken from just outside the 30. And the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Hurts throw taken in by Watkins here. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing is Hurts. Over the middle to Smith. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. This to Arnold on the short pass. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And the lead will stay put at 17. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Giants offense set to begin this 3rd quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. A quick throw, but incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Giants. Darren Waller fourth touchdown on the year. And the Giants come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again, they've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, and talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down. Hurts. That one thrown across his body, and it's incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And Barkley did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll run with Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. They'll run it again with Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
Start, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. A handoff to Barkley. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Back to throw. Jones. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. That one good for only 6, and it leaves them with a 4th down. So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. Gano's kick is good, and that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13.
So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within one score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They go play action with Hurts.
Going deep here for Watkins.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Oh, I don't know if he's sensing contact to come or what, but that's a ball he'd love to have back. That could have gone for big yardage, but it just didn't want to stay in his hands. That's a tough break.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Jones now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 1st down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Here's a give to Barkley. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake. Jones. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Hassan Reddick coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on 3rd down, they still couldn't prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for New York. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
And they'll try and run for it with Gainwell.
And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
They begin with a run by Barkley. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Jones. And this is going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia.
Here's 2nd and 10.
It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. A big play there for Philly. 44 yards.
Despite writing it down in my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Off the play fake. Here's Hurts.
He finds his man complete. That's Watkins. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Over the middle, complete. It's Arnold. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. It'll be Hurts on the option.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts
keeping it himself from a yard out.
And the Eagles add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
And New York set to take the field.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
96 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd and 4.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Looking for Campbell downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Hodgins in motion. Now Saquon Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Josh Sweat coming in strong and dropping him behind the line of scrimmage. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Throwing Jones. A short one here secured by the tight end Waller. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Give that sack to Nakobe Dean. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones. Now this thrown deep for Slayton. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Arnold.
Eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
That's on Pro Bowl center Jason Kelce.
Still first down.
Again, a run with Gainwell. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
At the Giants' 14-yard line.
Hurts. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And that one too wide and incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. And New York set to take the field. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Now Jones. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And he's taken down but able able to slip across the 35. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. Jones throwing on first down. And he whips that one incomplete there. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll look to throw again. And that will be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. They start the drive here with Gainwell. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 47-yard line.
And they'll stay on the ground with Gainwell again. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Back to Gainwell here on 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. But what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked out